Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Sunday, October 19th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Toronto Blue Jays. ALCS game number 6 with a trip to the World Series on the line if the Mariners win here tonight. Definitely very excited. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 7 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Sunday, everyone. On the left, our center fielder, superstar Julio Rodriguez. And on the right, first baseman, future Hall of Famer Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, catching today for Seattle, big dumper Cal Raleigh. Batting third, DHing for the Mariners, Jorge Polanco. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Batting fifth, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting sixth, playing third base, Eugenio Suarez. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting eighth, playing right field, Dominic Canzone. And batting ninth, playing second base, it is Leo Rivas. And on the mound for the Mariners, it is Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. And now let's get into the starting lineup for the home Toronto Blue Jays. Leading off for the Blue Jays at DH, George Springer. Batting second, playing left field, Nathan Lucas. Batting third, playing first base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for the Blue Jays, Alejandro Kirk. Batting fifth, playing center field, Dalton Varsho. Batting sixth, playing second base, third base, Ernie Clement. They made a last-minute change, and they're going to be flipping Clement with Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Batting seventh, playing right field, Addison Barger. Batting eighth, playing second base, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. And batting ninth, playing shortstop, Andres Jimenez. And on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays, Trey Yesavage. Trident's up, sees the moment, and we obviously knew how that went down in Game 5. You know, we had probably the biggest home run in franchise history. You know, not only did he hit a home run early in the matchup, a solo dinger, but had that grand salami, which was magnificent. But we also cannot forget about big dumper Cal Raleigh hitting that solo dinger earlier in that inning to tie the game up at 2. You know, and again, that was the beginning of the end of the meltdown that the Blue Jays had in the pen. And again, after that happened, you know, we saw a few guys get walked, Randy got plunked, and then the rest is history with Eugenio Suarez with the grand salami. And again, we want to make sure we get the job done, you know, whether it be in Game 6 or Game 7. I know for a lot of us Mariner fans, we would love just to get it over here tonight. Obviously, the NFL's got a doubleheader tomorrow. Buccaneers and Lions sounds pretty sweet for Monday night. And I feel pretty confident that we can get the job done here today. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day, and definitely looking forward to the matchup here. JC in the building, what's good? Tyler in the building, what's good? Appreciate you, man. And again, somebody's got to represent the Seattle Mariners to the fullest, and that will definitely be us here with the NWSF and myself as the host. Mike in the building, what's good? Coach Eclipse in the building, what's good? Appreciate you. Larry in the building, what's good? Henry in the building, Yoda in the building, what's good? All day. Let's get it, baby. Let's get the dub. Let's go to the World Series for the very first time in team history. What do you say? Let's get it. Blue in the building, what's good? Let's go Mariners. Let's get it, baby. Daniel in the building, what's good? T3 in the building. Shanae in the building. Michael in the building, what's good? Anna in the building. Reflect in the building. Let's go. And all day is all over it. We'll start it off with 100 likes, 100 on the Dono train, and we'll be looking for 5 to 15 subs. Once we hit those numbers, we'll go to secondary goals, 200, 200, and then 50 to 100. Brian in the building, what's good? Let's go. Let's go M's, man. You know, and the crazy thing, you know, it's like this is the closest that we've been to the World Series. And of course, regardless if the Blue Jays make it or the Mariners make it, you know, the global consensus is that the Blue Jays or the Mariners would get stomped. You know, and again, they would get swept. They have no chance against the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani just had 10 Ks and 3 home runs in Game 4 in the clinching game. They got Blake Snell. You know, they got Mookie. They got Freddie. They got Shohei. They got Teoscar. Kike Hernandez steps up. But guess what? We match up really well with the Dodgers. And again, we didn't play our best guys at the end of the year. And obviously they beat us, right? And they beat us pretty easily. But I think, you know, once we advance to the World Series, again, if we can end up stealing a game, you know, early, you know, we do have a chance, you know, and again, I don't think we're going to be as bad as the Brewers were, where they got swept and only put up 2 runs total. There's no way in hell the Mariners would put up 2 total runs in 4 games. Not happening. Even the Blue Jays would be able to score more than that as well. So again, you know, if you can just find a way, you know, to steal one of those first couple games, you know, anything is possible. And again, if it ends up being a 2-3-2 series, right, and the Dodgers have home field advantage, we win one of the first 2 games, take care of business at home, anything is possible. Just like in this particular series against the Toronto Blue Jays, you know, and again, realistically, you know, are the Dodgers the best team in baseball right now? It kind of looks like it, you know, based on the pitching and the hitting and everything that they did. You know, it's a true David and Goliath story, you know, but again, just because Goliath is big and almighty doesn't mean David can't come along and end up getting the job done once in a while. And we'll see where it goes. You know, I really do like our chances to make it to the World Series. And I honestly do believe that we have a pretty good chance to match up against the Los Angeles Dodgers if we advance here today. Let's get ready. Let's get locked in. And let's freaking go, baby. First up in the box will be Julio Rodriguez. And they made a uniform change. They were going to go with the navy blues, but decided to go back, you know, with the uniform that suits them the best with the Northwest green. And I like what I'm seeing here. Savage on the mound, Julio Rodriguez in the box. And first pitch, Julio flies out to center, and that is 1 away. And again, if Julio is going to be leading off, can we please get Julio to work the count? You know, we had this issue, you know, in the last game. And again, if you're going to go on the first 1, 2, 3 pitches, you're going to go 0 for 4, 0 for 5 more than likely, unless you get that perfect pitch right down the middle that you can hit a double on or possibly a home run. Please, Julio, work the count. You know, and again, you know, first pitch strikes are great, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get a hit or a home run every single time. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch, low and away with the 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour by Savage, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to big dumper Cal Raleigh. One pitch, fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Scott in the building, what's good? Bricks and joysticks in the building, what's good? And I think Julio will learn, once we get, later in the matchup and whatnot, and sometimes, you can end up going super aggressive on the first pitch. Sometimes it does lead to a home run, sometimes it does lead to a big double, but again, I would rather work the count, because that pitch that you're looking for on pitch number 1, you'll get that same pitch in pitch 4, pitch 5, if you are just patient. Pitches high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. Nice to see Cal, work the count and, get to pitch 4, pitch 5, pitch 6 potentially here. Nothing down the middle just yet. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and the first pitch right down the middle. You savage with the heater. Down goes Cal, and that is 2 away. And I'll take a 5 or 6 pitch at bat rather than, 1 pitch like Julio had. And again, unfortunate that Cal strikes out, but we also have to remember Trey Savage. Obviously, he's got some heat. Next up is Jorge Polanco. And we haven't really seen Polo do a whole lot since the first 2 games, in Toronto. Hopefully that magic for Mr. October will light up here today. First pitch, takes a big swing and a miss, low and away, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and away with the splitter by Savage, 83 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. And we want to make sure we get these pitch counts up, so that way we can have the bullpen come in sooner, and then possibly get Savage to exit by the 5th inning, and hopefully we get a few home runs on him as well, and a few ribbies. 1-1 pitch in play, and Polo flies out to right, and that was a very quick inning there for the Seattle Mariners. Hard hit ball by Julio, hard hit ball by Polo. And yes, it didn't leave, obviously the stadium there and whatnot into the outfield. But, it's a good sign when guys are hitting deep early, and maybe that'll lead to something at some point. Panthers fan with a tour. Yeah, RIP to Doug Martin. And also we had a former Seattle Mariner that passed away today as well. So, we know that when you get individuals that are so young that pass away, rest in peace. And again, the Bucks and the Mariners are going to have some additional motivation based on some players that have passed away today. Congratulations on your Panthers win that I predicted against the Jets. 3 in a row. I know that feels good. Stacks, racks with a little Cactus Jack. $2 holla for Panthers fan. 98 to go to hit our goal. Appreciate you. And anyone that donates on Venmo or Cash App, if you don't see me acknowledge it right away, just hit me with a message in the chat. And sometimes the notification will come up, sometimes it doesn't, and I have to open up the app. But for anyone that has donated through the Cash App and the Venmo, and if I haven't mentioned you during the live stream until I maybe noticed it after the stream was over, appreciate every single one of you guys that are showing love to the channel. It means a lot. Next up for the Blue Jays, glad to see that knee is okay. DHing George Springer. He might be one of our enemies from the Astros days and our enemy here today, but at the end of the day, I don't wish injuries on anyone. Glad to see George is okay. Batting second, left fielder Nathan Lucas. And batting third, first baseman stud Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And depending on what Vladdy does, again, in the first 2 games, he was 0-7. So again, intentionally walking him in Seattle was kind of a must because he was getting singles, doubles, and home runs at will. So we will see what he does after this first at bat. And if he struggles, we may not have to intentionally walk him this whole entire game. But if he ends up getting a double right off Logan Gilbert right away, then we may have to intentionally walk him. But when you do that, it does get to a point where if you walk the next guy after him and there's already somebody on base, You don't want to get into a jam where you got bases loaded, no outs, bases loaded, 1 out, and then we're, biting our nails, pulling our hair out, hoping that we get the double play. Luckily that we ended up getting that in Game 5. And on the mound for the Mariners, one of our very best, it's Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. First pitch, high and inside to George Springer with the four-seam fastball, 1-0 count. Marcos in the building, what's good? Let's go, Logan. One-0 pitch, takes a strike swinging high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Springer. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 ALCS game number 6. 1 win for the Mariners takes us to the World Series for the very first time in team history. Big swing and a miss there by Springer going down to a knee. I imagine that didn't feel good. 1 ball and 1 strike from Gilbert to Springer. One pitch, fouled off, and that goes behind the plate and out of play. Four-seam fastball, good velocity by Logan Gilbert, 96 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Springer. Yeah, the only difference is that, Randy Johnson was probably the most intimidating pitcher based off size and pitches in that time period besides maybe Clemens. I don't think anybody really fears Logan Gilbert, but if we're looking at like physical appearance, righty and lefty, obviously Randy was a little bit taller and whatnot, a little bit more scary. But there's a little bit of similarities there based off the look. I mean, I'm digging the mullet, that Randy had back in the day, and we have seen some of our players grow their hair out as well. 1-2 pitch, fouled off. And that fades into right field in the second deck. Nice souvenir for that Blue Jay fan. 1 ball and 2 strikes to George Springer. Blue Jay in the building. What's good? Yeah. That bird was no longer living after that fastball. 1-2 pitch. Should be strike 3. And guess what? Do we get the call? Of course we don't. And again, when you don't get that call, typically it ends up leading to a base hit or something positive for that batter. But it was right in the zone, not really even on the line, and another call that we get robbed of. Pitch is high and inside, curveball. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes to George Springer, and hopefully we can end up making up for that missed call because that would have already been 1 out. And those are the type of calls that annoy me, the ones that should be strike 3, and then they continue to let the game, continue. And then if you let that guy hang around for a few more pitches, it could turn into a home run or an RBI or a base hit. Pitch is fouled off, high and away. Count still is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Springer. And Gilbert should already have 1 punch out already. With a missed call on pitch number 6. Slider, 87 miles an hour, right in the zone, right in the box. But of course, these umps have something against the Mariners, and again, I just want it to be 50-50. I don't want it to be 80-20 or like when we go to New York and the Bronx and it's fucking 90-10 and we don't get any calls. Just if you're gonna call it that way, you better make sure you call it, for both pitchers that same exact way. 3-2 pitch. And Springer fouls out to third. Gino is there. So at least karma ended up, finding its way. And that broken bat doesn't fade Gino, and he gets that nice out. Good defense, Eugenio Suarez. Next up, left fielder Nathan Lucas. And again, I'm not going to be complaining about stuff that's on the line. I'm not going to be complaining about stuff that might be early in the count, like the first pitch. But especially when it ends up being like pitch 4, pitch 5, pitch 6, when it could be a strikeout or a walk and you call the opposite, that just makes people want to pull their hair out. And I know I'm not the only one. First pitch, high and away, should be a strike. What do they call? Another ball. Ridiculous. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. should be 0 balls and 2 strikes instead of 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't know what this ump is looking at, but this is a little alarming that they're getting so much favoritism in the first inning already. 2 missed calls already in this first inning for the Toronto Blue Jay batters, getting a little bit of an advantage here. Ridiculous. 1-1 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Nathan Lucas. And again, this is not going to be something that we're going to, beat a dead horse and we're going to complain just to complain. No, we're only going to bring it up when it needs to be brought up. Everything else that's on the line or, early in the pitch count, we may or may not, bring up, but a little alarming here. 2-1 pitch and Lucas with a single to right. And another question, why is Victor Robles not played in 3 days? Why do we have Dominic Canzone over there? I hope Dom plays well, but I think Victor is a better defender. Make it make sense. He's not on the injury report. Why is Victor not playing in right field? Next up is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And I know I'm not the only one to have those concerns as well. Maybe Victor is hurt and they're just not saying anything. But kind of odd, for Victor not to be playing. Bottom of the first, runner at first with that nice single by Lucas in front of Dominic Canzone. First pitch fouled off by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Four-seam fastball behind the plate, 96 miles an hour. Nice high heat for Logan. 0-1 count. Mando in the building. What's good? Let him know, TJ. Let him know, Reflect. Let him know all day. 340 in the room. The faster we get to 100, we can get to 2. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Four-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And I want to, say a special thank you to every single one of you, mods, regulars, new subs. This has been a hell of a journey, to do pretty much 99% of the games this year. Not very many people have that commitment. And it's been a wild ride and we're not done. And Guerrero grounds out into the fielder's choice at second. And down goes Lucas. Throw to first is a little late. And he will be safe at first. 2 away. Yeah, Victor, I feel, is a better hitter, a better defender, better on the bags. He can bunt better, but again, if he's not playing and it's like the second or third game in a row and we haven't even seen him come in really into the game at all, even later, what's going on? We can win without Victor, of course, but, I feel like that's a piece that's a little concerning. But our roster is good enough to get it done the way that it sits. There's no doubt about that. Bottom of the first, runner at first with 2 outs. First pitch from Gilbert, high and inside, fouled off by Alejandro Kirk. 0-1 count. I appreciate that, Blue Jay. I mean, there's a lot of people, I'll take that back. There's not a lot of people that do baseball, compared to like football and other sports. The baseball market is quite a bit smaller. There'll be a few guys here and there, that do this. But again, we're the only ones that are diehard for the Mariners, and someone has to represent Seattle in the right way. 0-1 pitch, and that one is foul. Thank God. Quite a few balls being hit in Dominic Canzone's area there. And, each individual that ends up doing baseball has their own approach, their own style with their thumbnails, their own kind of look that they have and presentation. But, we're going to give you stats. We're going to give you analytics. We're not going to be biased. We're going to give credit where credit is due, even to the superstars on the other teams. We're going to do photos for everyone so we can get to know everyone in the league. And again, it's Tridents up, seize the moment. It's our time. It's our year. And again, when we were in game 3 and game 4, we might have lost the battle, but we're not losing the war. And we're hungry for a trip to the World Series to win here in game 6. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 Mariners and Blue Jays. Gilbert on the mound, Alejandro Kirk in the box. And big swing and a miss. Down goes Alejandro Kirk. And that is out number 3. And I've peeped, within the last 2 weeks, to kind of see, some of these Yankee streamers, Blue Jays streamers, Dodger streamers, and, how they, present themselves, based off the broadcast. And, again, I think that a lot of people will agree, we got one of the best channels, not only for baseball, but just for sports in general. And I appreciate the love and the kind words, and we're going to continue to grind it out. Nice job there by the Mariners, even though the umps are obviously against us here early. End of the first, 0-0 Mariners and Blue Jays. Let's see who's up next here for Seattle, and let's get on the board early. What do you say? Next up for the Mariners, first baseman, it's Nails. It's the big grumper, Josh Naylor. Batting second, left fielder in the 5-hole, Randy Arozarena. And batting third in the 6-hole, third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. Right hands up, let's go M's with the biggest home run in Seattle Mariner history. And again, like I told you guys when we first signed him, and again, when he was ice cold for like the first 2 to 3 weeks when Naylor was doing everything. What did I tell you guys? I told you at some point later, either at the end of the regular season or going into the playoffs, there was going to be a moment where other guys would struggle. And for whatever reason, he was going to step up and put the team on the back and help us win. And, again, he's one of those guys. He may not be as consistent, as others, that are typically in the lineup, whether it be, Julio on a heater or Cal or Polo or any of the other guys. And he might only be able to do it once a series, but you best believe once he gets hot, there's no denying it. And again, 2 big home runs, a solo dinger and a grand salami. And shout out to Cal Raleigh for hitting a home run as well. And again, sometimes you just need a change of scenery. And all his at-bats were from the left. He finally switches over to the right. And what happens? He hits a home run. And that really got us going. Get a couple guys walked. Randy got plunked on the arm. Boom shakalaka. Suarez comes up and, makes the magic for us. And a memory that we will never, ever forget. Let's go, baby. Marine being in the building. What's good? And again, some guys are just built that way. Some guys are going to be consistent and they're going to do it game in and game out. Other guys, they have the talent, like Gino. He's going to strike out a lot, but he's going to homer. And when he does homer, you just have to hope that he's in the lineup for that particular team, because he could homer once, twice, 3 times, maybe even 4 times like he did with the Diamondbacks earlier this year. And again, Gino might only be able to explode once or twice in a series. But again, once or twice in a series sometimes is just good enough. Yeah, great interview on the field with him and with his family as well. First pitch from Savage to Naylor, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. It was one of the best interviews I think I've seen on the field and post-game with his children in a long, long time. Very honest, very genuine, and, a really good person. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour by Trey Savage. Naylor in the box, Savage on the mound. Let's go, Nails. Let's go, baby. You never know when that unexpected home run could come from anybody, including Josh Naylor. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and Savage gets Naylor on 3 pitches. We got to be a little bit more patient there. Great outing there for Trey, and not the greatest at-bat there for Josh Naylor. He'll be better later. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy. You ended up, doing something pretty big too, robbing a home run late in that game as well. I'm not going to forget about you. I understand that we know that your defense on ground balls is terrible, but you can play pretty good with pop-ups, and we definitely needed that as well. First pitch takes a strike looking on the line, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. And shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. I'm hoping Bucky will be back next week. I'm looking forward to hopefully the Mariners winning today so we can do Bucks Lions on the live stream tomorrow. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. I know Evans and Ibuka might be game time decisions, but I think Bucky and Godwin are for sure out. But I still think that we can win even if we had nobody playing. As long as Baker is out there, you have a chance. 1-2 pitch, fouled off, low and at the knees. Slider, 88 miles an hour, goes into the crowd there in left field. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Savage to Randy. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. And Trey is locked in here early, and that is 2 away. We're pretty aggressive here early. I would like us to work the count a little bit more, but again, Trey is locked in. Next up is third baseman Eugenio Suarez. Bring that electricity, Gino. And the good thing about Gino, is when he does get hot, sometimes, not every time, but sometimes it'll carry over to the next game. And again, we'll see if, Gino can get some singles, doubles, or possibly a home run today. And it's not going to be every game that he goes back to back and does something crazy, but he has done it before. 1-0 pitch, fouled off high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. Top of the second inning, 0-0 Mariners and Blue Jays. Yeah, and they were going to go with the Navies today, and they made a last-second decision switch, and I think that was the right choice. Pops a little bit more than the regular Navies. 1-1 pitch, takes a strike looking, high and away with that slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gino. 1-2 pitch, slider, high and away, 88 miles an hour. Off speed there by Savage. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Eugenio Suarez. Two-two pitch, fouled off, high and inside with a splitter, off speed, 83 miles an hour by Savage. Crushes that one into left field, foul. About 10 rows back. Top of the second inning, 0-0 Mariners and Blue Jays. And we got a doubleheader in the NFL tomorrow with the Buccaneers and the Lions and the Seahawks and the Texans. And Gino strikes out looking, and that is out number 3. Trey looks very good early. Obviously, the umps don't need to really favor them, pitching wise. He can do it on his own. But again, a little aggressive in these first 2 innings for the Mariners. And again, we are up 3-2, but again, we have to get the job done, and preferably tonight. And I feel confident that we can win in Game 6 or Game 7. But to be able to say, hey, we're going to the World Series tonight would be even better. Let's go to the bottom of the second inning and see who's up next for Toronto. Next up for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the second, center fielder Dalton Varsho. Batting second, third baseman in the 6th hole, Ernie Clement. And batting third, right fielder in the 7th hole, Addison Barger. And on the mound for the Mariners, Logan Gilbert. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 300 likes. We got 425 in the room, 100 on the dono train. And we'll be looking to get 50 to 100 subs. Let's go. We've gained 8 subs since the first commercial break. 68 subs to go to 23,200. We just broke 23,000 a few days ago. And we also broke 5.1 million views on the channel as well. Next goal will be 25,000 subs on the channel and 10 million views as well. Trident's up, seize the moment. Let's go. And for All Day and Captain and TJ and all of the regulars in the room, if we can have a team effort to get as many people that are in the room that are watching and possibly not commenting to do the very basic, smash that like button. That'll help us be able to get more individuals that are looking for Mariners, Blue Jays, or an MLB stream. Then this will be recommended to them that are looking, and then we could potentially get more likes, more views, more subs, more donos, but most importantly, more cool people that can be a part of the NWSF family. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. First pitch from Gilbert to Varsho, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Gilbert on the mound, Varsho in the box. Bottom of the second inning, ALCS game number 6. Mariners up 3-2. One more game to be able to get to the World Series. And a hit right into the gap, right in front of Julio, and he drops it. Come on, Julio. And Varsho with a stand-up double. Great hit there by Dalton Varsho right into the gap. Next up is Ernie Clement. And again, we're going to need a strikeout and a double play, or a double play and a strikeout. First pitch, takes a strike looking, right down the middle, 0-1 count. I don't think it would be an error. You know, he just kind of bobbled it. Victoria in the building. What's good? Oh, 1 pitch. And a line drive there right to Gino, and he drops it. Throws to first. Safe. That might be an error. Come on, Gino. I mean, we can't let them have any kind of extra momentum here. And again, you know, for every play that we normally get, and again, you know, obviously he's focused on that runner at second, which he should be, but you got to make the play first, you know, and again, for every big play, you know, you're going to have a slip up here and there as well. Now we got runners at first and second with no outs. Pressure's on now. We got to step up. Wake up, Mariners. You know, again, you know, we're playing with house money, right? We're up 3-2 in the series, but we have to be able to play with the pressure as if we're down 3-2. Focus. First pitch to Addison Barger, takes the strike looking, high and away, 0-1 count. You know, let's not let the defense collapse if Logan's pitching pretty well. We want to make sure we're doing the best for him to give him the confidence so that way he can actually go 5 or 6 innings, not go 3 or 4. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. Beautiful splitter by Walter. No balls and 2 strikes to Addison Barger. One of the nastiest splitters I've seen in a minute. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Tried to get him to bite on that splitter again, but Barger says, nuh-uh, not today. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Barger. Runners at first and second with no outs. We need a strikeout and a double play, or a double play and a strikeout. Let's go. I mean, we're known for, you know, having our backs against the wall and being able to get out of jams. 1-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Barger. Let's go, Gilbert. One-two pitch, low and at the knees with the off-speed splitter, 77 miles an hour. Coincidentally, we have seen that pitch called strike, earlier in the series, but we'll see how it goes with this particular ump here today. But anytime you get a pitch that ends up hitting the dirt, you're not going to ever get that call. Got to keep it in the mitt. It's got to get into Cal's mitt. Big, long strides for Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. Settle in, my guy. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody. Runners at first and second with no outs. Bottom of the second inning, 0-0 here early. Two-two pitch and a hit into right field, and that's going to bring in Varsho, and now it's 1-0 Blue Jays. And again, the defense, is responsible for that. You got to make sure that you're getting the job done. Julio with a bobble, Gino with a bobble. Let's clean it up. Runners now at first and third with no outs. Now we definitely need that, strikeout in double play. Varsho scores, Clement to third, Barger at first. Next up, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who has actually had a pretty good series against the Mariners since he came in and is trying to fill the shoes for Anthony Santander with the back issue. First pitch, big swing and a miss, low way, 0-1 count. And maybe it's a good omen that they are going to score first, because a lot of times the Mariners score first in the game, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we win. We might get the first run, but maybe nothing after that. So, having a mentality of being down actually might be good for us here in Game 6, as long as it doesn't get too out of hand. I mean, we don't want to be down by 5 runs, but, if it ends up being within like 1 or 2, it's still manageable. Pitch fouled off right down the middle by Kiner-Falefa. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Kiner-Falefa. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Blue Jays. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Splitter missing, 80 miles an hour off speed by Logan. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at first and third and no outs. Come on, Ems. And we also have to remember, this is actually a series, with 2 teams that are pretty evenly matched, just like it was against the Tigers. This isn't like the Brewers going against the Dodgers. It's a little bit different here in the American League. And that one gets chopped towards third base foul with that splitter off speed, 77 miles an hour. Nothing is going to be given to us. We're going to have to earn every single win. And, again, sometimes, things are great. Other times things get a little miserable. We're going to go through the peaks and the valleys, but we're here and we're on the cusp of our very first World Series. Slow dribbler towards third. And Gino cannot come up with the bare hand. And that scores another run, 2-0 Blue Jays. Come on, Mariners, wake up. And that was a perfectly hit ball there by Kiner-Falefa. Not hard enough, to really get a good, speed and velocity to get it really that far in. And when you just get that little dribbler, those are sometimes hard to be able to pick up. And obviously seeing that runner run past him home distracted him. And, we need Gino to be better. It's like, for every amazing thing that Gino did in Game 5, already a couple blunders here in Game 6. Obviously, Julio and Gino need to make up for some of these issues that they're having defensively. And again, we know sometimes Polo, Gino, and Randy are liabilities on defense, but we can't have that here. Let's go. Next up is Andres Jimenez. Runners at first and second with no outs. And if it keeps continuing like this, we might have to pull Logan Gilbert by the 4th inning, maybe even the 3rd. And Jimenez bunts foul. And And Jimenez is a guy that can hit home runs. So, for the manager to be able to call bunt is pretty cool to see. I would hope that Dan Wilson is taking notes. I would love for us to be able to drop a bunt down here and there as well. 0-1 pitch, low and away, slider missing, 85 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Andres Jimenez. One pitch, big swing and a miss right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Andres Jimenez. And we just got to get one out at a time. Again, that's just going to how it have to be, in a situation where you got your back against the wall here. Come on, Em, settle down, settle in. And again, we know what happens, if pitching goes sideways. All we need is 1 or 2 guys in the pen for the Blue Jays to struggle, and we'll be right back in it late in the matchup. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Andres Jimenez, and that's our first out. There we go. Nice job by Logan Gilbert. Maybe 2 or 3 batters too late, but we'll take it. Down goes Andres Jimenez, and that is 1 away. Next up is George Springer. And this would be a great time for Springer to hit a slow dribbler right up the middle to JP, a throw to Naylor, and we get a double play, and we get out of this inning. First pitch from Gilbert to Springer, low and at the knees. Slider should have been 50-50 call, but we don't get it, of course. 1-0 count. Have the faith. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Gilbert to Springer. Come on, Logan. 2-0 pitch, low and at the knees. 3 balls and no strikes to George Springer. Come on, Logan. And again, if Logan doesn't get it going here soon, we might have to pull him. Again, do we really want to get down 5-0 by like the 5th inning? It'd be hard to come back from that, even if they do have a couple meltdowns later in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. But Logan not looking very good here early, and the defense not looking good either. Normally, pitching and defense is something that's pretty good for us. And then there's another 4-pitch walk, and that is not good. Bases loaded, 2-0 Blue Jays with only 1 out. This is a little concerning, and again, we know how good Bryce Miller and Logan Gilbert did in Game 1 and Game 2 on the road, but then obviously coming back, here to Toronto, not looking very good. Have to be very honest. First pitch, fouled off, low and at the knees, 0-1 count. Well, your guess is as good as mine, Blue. We'll find out. If Logan stays for 5 or 6 innings and we're down 6-0, or if they end up pulling him in the 3rd or the 4th. And it might, depend on if we get a home run, or a big RBI in the next inning, and that might determine, if we tie the game up, or if it's still 2-0 or 3-0 at that point, if they make the move or not. Because even if Logan is struggling, but then in the top of the 3rd, if we end up hitting a 2-run blast and we tie it up, then you might be able to keep him around. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and there you go, Logan. And that is 2 away. We need to get out of this inning with no more runs scored. Nice job, Logan. You haven't looked very good here early on, but great punch out there on Nathan Lucas. And now you have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., probably the last guy that you want to see. We can't have a grand salami here. And then if you intentionally walk him, then obviously that brings in a run. Got to be very, very careful. The only thing that we got for us here is that he went 0 for 7 in the first 2 games, obviously at home. But what will happen here today, we will find out. Hopefully not a single double or a grand salami, because that would not be good for us here in Game 6. First pitch, low and away, 1-0 count. And you got to understand, baseball, there's going to be peaks and valleys. Not everything is going to go our way early on or late, but the game isn't over till it's over. And again, the game resets after the starters go out and when the bullpen comes in. And both teams have guys that can have meltdowns in the pen, Blue Jays and Mariners. So it's not looking good here early, but the game's, far from over. 1-0 pitch, line drive, Gino, force out at second. There we go. What a play by Gino after having a couple plays, fumbling the bag at third base, comes up with a critical defensive play here at third. And again, that has been a play in the past that he's missed. And to be able to get that force out at second, that saved us. Because again, if he doesn't get that out, we probably end up getting down 3, 4, 5, 6-0 in that inning. Huge. And let's see if we can get on the board here and get it to 2-1 or possibly tie it up 2-2. The faster that we can get a run on the board, maybe the longer that we can keep Logan in the game if that's the strategy that they want to do. And obviously it really will depend on how he pitches moving forward. But, defense hasn't really been good behind him, right? Pitching hasn't been good. And the offense, we haven't got going just yet, but it's early. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 300 likes, 100 on the dono train, and 50 to 100 subs. Let's go. Can we get an update on the likes and where we're at? We should be at 200 by now. Next up for the Mariners in the 7-hole, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Batting second, right fielder in the 8-hole, Dominic Canzone. And batting third, second baseman in the 9-hole, Leo Rivas. This would be a great time for Leo to homer in Game 6. I mean, hell, we would take homers from any of these guys. JP, Dog, or Leo. Try to ends up, seize the moment. Go 52 to 200. We got almost 500 in the room. We're at 2 on the dono train, 98 to go. Not the most ideal start, to a game, but you had to kind of expect this if you're a real fan. This is Game 6. Their backs are against the wall. We ended up, obliterating them at the end of the game, with Cal and with Gino, with the home run and the grand salami. It's not like they were just going to roll over. This was going to be something that we're going to have to earn it. And again, they definitely are the hotter team at home at this point, but it's far from over. First pitch from Savage to JP. High and away, 1-0 count. And even if we don't get home runs and big RBIs initially, if we can have him hit a guy, walk a couple guys, get a couple guys on base and then steal a couple bags, that'll help. And then you don't have to get as many big hits at that point if you can get the pitcher to have a little bit of a mini meltdown. But so far, Savage looks pretty solid. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike swinging low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Come on, J.P. We know you can do it defensively, but we need that bat to come alive as well. Let's go. Be smart in the box. Give me that swagger. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Oh, everybody's injured. There's no doubt about that. And can you imagine Cal Raleigh? the amount of innings that he's been able to catch and hit and manage this team. And there we go. A nice walk to JP Crawford. We'll take that. Nice job by JP. Next up is Dominic Canzone. And again, I don't really know why Dom has been playing over Victor Robles. I would rather go with Victor Robles personally, but you never know. Maybe Dom at some point, even though he's been really ice cold, maybe he'll heat up, for one at bat and give us a big home run, or a big RBI. And sometimes, getting that play, will be worth it, even if a guy has been struggling, First pitch from Savage to Canzone, takes a strike looking outside of the zone. Come on, ump. 0-1 count. Should have been a ball. Oh, 1 pitch. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. But it's not like Victor Robles was really hot either. They were both kind of ice cold, but I just like Victor's defense a little bit more than Dom in right field. And he's a better base runner as well. And also a better bunter. So it gives you more options with Victor, but since he hasn't played in a few games, makes you kind of wonder if he's hurt and they're just sitting on that. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Top of the third inning, 2-0 Toronto with a runner at first, JP Crawford with the walk. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Down goes Dom, and that is 1 away. Next up is second baseman Leo Rivas. Let's go, Leo. Leo's got a lot of power for being a smaller player. Let's see if we can get a single, double, ground rule double, or a home run. Let's go, Leo. Let's be the hero in Game 6. Let's get a 2-run jack and tie this game up 2-2. Let's go. First pitch from Savage to Rivas. Takes a strike looking low and away. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, takes a strike swinging, low and away. Slider, off speed, 88 miles an hour from Savage. No balls and 2 strikes to Leo Rivas. Come on, Leo. Yeah, but you also have to realize the way that we're swinging is because we're actually going against a good pitcher that's on. There's a big difference when we go against pitching that's average or below average, when we start raking. 0-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Savage to Rivas. One-two pitch, low and away with the splitter. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Savage to Rivas. And I don't think our offense is horrible. I mean, a comment like that makes me think that you don't even watch baseball. We're not the Milwaukee Brewers putting up 2 runs in 4 games, my guy. If you want to talk about an offense is horrible, that's the offense that's horrible. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Savage on the mound, Rivas in the box. I mean, I've never heard an offense being bad that put up 3, 10, 4, 8, and 6. That doesn't sound terrible to me. But you do you. Two-two pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Leo Rivas. Two-two pitch, high and away. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Leo Rivas. Top of the third inning, 2-0 Toronto. Come on, Leo. Top of the third inning, 2-0 Toronto. Runner at first, JP with 1 out. Savage on the mound, Rivas in the box. And Rivas off the wall, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, man, I wish we could have gotten a little bit more there. But Rivas with a big hit there off the wall. Nice job, Leo. And too bad JP wasn't able, to get to third, but also probably wanted to make sure, as if this was going to get caught or not, and, you couldn't really tell. And there was a chance. I mean, it wasn't like it was that far off. Barger, I mean, he missed it by, a foot? But unfortunate that JP maybe couldn't have, maybe he didn't see it. But again, another thing, a little bugaboo with the base running. So we've had a couple of bugaboos by Julio, Gino at third, and now one by JP. But we still can get things going here. Let's go. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Julio Rodriguez. And nice to be able to see Julio work the count. And let's see if Julio can come up with a big play. And obviously, they're going to try to get our runners out that are sleeping at first and second. Hopefully, he got back to first in time here. I mean, he has the glove and it hits the ground and he scoops it up, but he kind of scoops it, in between the hands and whatnot, right? I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously we haven't really been getting a lot of calls going in our favor and whatnot, so there's a swipe, for the tag, but does it actually hit the player or does it hit the ground? That's the question. Are you swiping and actually hitting the player on the hand or the jersey, or in between in the dirt? That's the real question. Captain says 160. We got 515 in the room. And again, I need your guys' help. I can't do it by myself. For all the regulars and all the mods, it has to be a team effort. Runner safe. Good call. All right, let's see if Julio, since he ended up not working the count and getting out on the first pitch, let's see if Julio Rodriguez has a little bit of magic here with a single, double, or a home run. Let's go, Julio. Top of the third inning, 2-0 Toronto. Runners at first and second with 1 out. And obviously, Logan has been a little rusty, but if we can get on the board with 1 or 2 runs, and, that'll definitely help Logan with the confidence, knowing that at least the bats are coming alive, since pitching and defense have been a little suspect here early. 2-0 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. Slider, 88 miles an hour by Savage. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners at first and second with 1 out. 2-0 Toronto. ALCS Game 6. Seattle leading the series 3-2. Jason in the building. What's good? Come on, Julio. 2-1 pitch. Good eye. Low and away. Splitter, 83 miles an hour. We haven't seen that pitch from Savage often here early in this game. Count now, 3 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Let's see if Julio can force a walk. And there he does. Let's go. Hey, it won't be just Logan Gilbert with the meltdown, okay? You get a little mini meltdown by Savage here as well. And we noticed that kind of happened to him in Game 2, right? So again, we can find ways. And now we have big dumper Cal Raleigh. Obviously, best case scenario, if he ends up doing this and we end up getting a grand salami, we go up 4-2, we're not looking back. But even if he gets an RBI single and RBI double, bringing in 1 or 2, that would be fantastic as well. We only have 1 out. Let's go. And remember, for all the people that were freaking out on how bad things were going in the first couple innings, I mean, look, we're in the 3rd inning, and now we've gotten something that they had on us. So again, you have to have an open mind when you watch baseball. Things can look horrible in 1 inning and then all of a sudden go into your favor the next. You just have to be patient. And again, not a lot of baseball fans have patience. I get it. It definitely is a tough thing to be able to go through, especially with a lot on the line. But again, this team is good enough to be able to fight adversity. And again, we have fans that are able to do the same. First pitch, Cal, double play, throw to first, fuck. And just like that, big double play from Cal. And again, the last thing that we needed there, and they get themselves out of a jam. But again, a good sign that we were able to get some guys on base. And again, unfortunate outcome, but that does typically mean when that happens and we don't get anything to come home, usually the next inning or the inning after, that's when we end up getting 1, 2, and maybe even more at that point. So unfortunate that Cal can't get the RBI, but that is baseball. It happens. And hopefully in the next inning, in the 4th or the 5th, we'll be able to tie this game up. Got to have a positive mindset. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 2-0 Toronto. Next up for the Blue Jays, here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, 0 for 1 with a K, catcher Alejandro Kirk. Batting second, 1 for 1 with a run, center fielder Dalton Varsho. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a run, third baseman Ernie Clement. We gained 5 more subs since the last commercial break. 63 subs to go to 23,200. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 300 likes, 100 on the dono train, and 50 to 100 subs. Let's go. Take a look at the stats here quickly. So we got Logan Gilbert about to pitch. 2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 47 pitches, 32 strikes. And Trey Savage, 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, 46 pitches, 28 strikes. So, roughly, the same pitch count, but Gilbert has 1 more inning to go. So obviously Gilbert's numbers are going to be much higher. And we'll see how long that Gilbert will go. Typically, Gilbert would only go 5 innings, usually during the regular season. This year with the injury, he's not like Wu that would go 6 or 7. So, if we can get 5 good innings out of Logan, or at least decent innings where we don't get down by too much, hopefully the offense will catch up at that point. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking low and at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes to Alejandro Kirk. Try dance up. Let's go, M's. Let's go, baby. Keep fighting. Keep grinding. Seize the moment. Try dance up. 0-2 pitch, low and away, off-speed pitch there from Logan Gilbert. Curveball, 81 miles an hour. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Alejandro Kirk. Pitch count is going to get pretty high for Logan here, so I'm thinking probably 5 innings unless they decide to pull him sooner. But 1-2 pitch. And Gino is there. Throw to first off the bounce. A nice scoop by Naylor. Beautiful. And again, thankfully we can get these guys on the same page, and hopefully Gino will be able to come up with some good defensive plays to make up for some of the ones that have gotten past them. Some of them are just good hits that are hard to be able to defend, on that matter as well. Down goes Alejandro Kirk with that slow dribbler to Gino, throw to Naylor, 1 away. Next up is center fielder Dalton Varsho. First pitch, takes a strike looking, low and away. Slider off speed, 84 miles an hour, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, takes another strike looking right down the middle with a curveball. No balls and 2 strikes to Dalton Varsho. And if we can get a couple 1, 2, 3 innings out of Logan, that could really help. The bats are eventually going to come alive. Again, Savage has walked a couple guys. We just need to be able to find a way to get back-to-back hits, or, to be able to get that home run. You got to remember 50% of our runs are home runs. 0-2 pitch. Varsho flies out to right. Dom is there, and that is 2 away. Here we go. So far, so good in this inning. Good job by Dom. Next up is third baseman Ernie Clement. Let's get a nice, easy pop-up, ground out, or punch out, and then let's get on the board in the bottom of the third inning, 2-1 or 2-2. Let's go. Peaks and valleys, right? We're going to have our ups. We're going to have our downs. But one thing that we're always going to have is each other. We're going to stick together. We're going to get this. Let's go. Ooh, Clement crushes it into left field. And Randy is there off the top of the wall. Get it, Randy. And a triple from Clement. And again, that could have been possibly a double if he would have known where that ball was at and a little bit more hustle, but great triple there. Next up is right fielder Addison Barger. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. And let's keep that runner stranded at third. Let's not bring him home. Let's keep this at 2-0. One for one with an RBI single in the second, but let's keep it just 1 for 1. Back. See ya. Barger homers to right center. Clement scores after he almost homered. 4-0 Blue Jays. Wow. We might have to pull Logan Gilbert. That is not what we intended here. Blue Jay fans are wanting game 7, but again, the maximum amount of runs that we typically can come back from is 5. So we're really on the brink right now of being down 4. And again, we need to be able to get some runs on the board in the next inning or 2 to cut into the lead. We got to get it to 4-1 or 4-2 within the next 2 innings. Otherwise, this is going to be a long, long day. First pitch from Gilbert to Kiner Falefa, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. And obviously Logan doesn't have his best stuff here today, and again, towards the end of the season, he was kind of hit or miss, with his delivery and whatnot. And, the Blue Jays are a very good team. It's not like we're, playing the Miami Marlins. It's not like we're playing a bottom feeder or the White Sox. We're playing the Blue Jays. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Kiner Falefa. 0-2 pitch, high and inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Kiner Falefa. And again, if we can just get a little bit of offense once Savage goes out, and then we can get a couple meltdowns by a couple of the guys in the pen, we might be able to climb back into it. Obviously, it doesn't look good now, but this isn't something that we haven't come back from before. And a little slow dribbler there. J.P. Crawford, throw to first. Naylor taps the bag, and that is out number 3. But not after the damage is done. Great job by the Blue Jays. Barger singles to right. Varsho scores Clement to third in the bottom of the second inning, making it 1-0. Kiner Falefa reached on an infield single to the shortstop. Clement scored Barger to second, 2-0. And then Barger decides to homer right after Clement almost homered himself on the previous play. And again, at this point, I think I would pull Logan Gilbert. I don't think we need to see any more. He already gave up 4 runs. He's not going to get any better. If anything, he's going to get worse. So I think by bringing Edward Bizardo, bring in a good pitcher, to help us out here, that would be what I would do. He's at 61 pitches, but I don't think I have any faith in Logan for the rest of this particular matchup. End of the third inning, 4-0 Toronto. And remember, no one said it was going to be easy, right? It's something that we're going to have to earn this. And again, they're going to push us to the limits. I mean, there's a berth to the World Series on the line. So let's see who's up next here for the Mariners in the top of the 4th inning. It's not over yet, especially if we can get like a 2-run jack or a 3-run bomb, or even just get an RBI and make it 4-1, 4-2, 4-3. Just chip away. Obviously the pitching needs to be better, and we need to stop giving up runs. And hopefully if Bizardo comes in, he can be clean for like 2 innings, and then we'll see what we go from there. But we definitely need to try to get on the board sooner than later. Next up, 0 for 1 in the 3-hole, DHing Jorge Polanco. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, first baseman Josh Naylor. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And comebacks are a part of sports. I ended up watching the Broncos and the Giants. My best friend is a Bronco fan, and they were down 18-0 against Jackson Dart Gadabu, right? And I told him, you just got to, chip away, and you guys might be able to come back in the 3rd and 4th quarter. And lo and behold, what happens? They chip away with Bo Nix here and there, and then they find themselves in position late in the matchup. They need to be able to get a couple big first downs. Will Lutz gets kicked, and they end up winning the game after being down 18-0. So again, sometimes when you're watching sport, it's easy to get frustrated and give up. But again, it's far from over. We still got half of the game to go. And again, we know how unreliable some of their guys in the pen are, and we just have to hope that those guys get in and we take advantage. Top of the 4th inning, 4-0 Blue Jays. Let's see if we can get to 1 or 2 runs here within the next 2 innings. Chip away, and we'll see where the game, ends up and where the chips fall. First pitch to Jorge Polanco from Trey Savage. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. Come on, Polo. We need you, baby. I mean, even getting a solo dinger to kind of get us on the board would be great. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. One-two pitch, high and away with a splitter. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Two-two pitch, fouled off, high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Is Savage on the mound? Jorge Polanco in the box. And Polo lines out on the 2-2 pitch with the splitter into right field, and that is 1 away. I mean, we've been able to get a few hard hit balls, but they just haven't been able to hit the gap yet. Next up is Josh Naylor, 0 for 1 with a K. We need Josh to be a little bit more patient in the box. Let's go, Naylor. Let's go, Nails. Victoria says we need 2 more to get to 200. Let's get there. And first pitch, Naylor with a single to center in the gap. There we go. And again, I don't like guys really swinging on the first pitch that often, but again, every once in a while, you're going to find someone that's going to be able to get a good follow-through swing, and we finally get a hit in the gap. And that bounces right in front of Varsho. Here we go. Let's see if we can bring Naylor home. Always got to have the faith. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Could this be the moment where Randy hits a 2-run jack to get us to 4-2? We know that Randy sometimes has some questionable ground ball defense, but again, he can hit homers and get big singles and doubles. Let's see if Randy can be an offensive weapon here. Come on, Randy. First pitch fouled off, high and away, 0-1 count. I mean, him getting walked or plunked wouldn't hurt my feelings either, as long as he doesn't get hurt when he gets hit on the arm. Let's go, baby. Little slow dribbler. Run, baby, run. Yes, and the same thing that happened to Gino just happened to the Blue Jays right there by Clement. And now we got runners at first and second. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Next up, Eugenio Suarez. Home run early and a grand salami late. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Come on, Gino. And remember, sometimes Gino, once he has that spectacular game, sometimes it'll carry over to the next game. Not all the time, sometimes. First pitch is high and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. He was able to get a full follow through there. That could have been dangerous. Slider, 87 miles an hour by Savage. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners at first and second and 1 out. Come on, Gino. I mean, honestly, we do hit, a lot of home runs, but at this point, we'll take anything. Single, double, an RBI, a home run, a walk, getting plunked as long as he doesn't get hurt, just something positive. Keep the inning going. Pitch is high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. Two-one pitch. Takes a strike swinging right down the middle, low and away. Slider off speed, 88 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 1 out. 4-0 Toronto. Come on, Gino. A hard hit ball down that third base line that goes all the way to left field wall, would score 1 or 2. 2-2 pitch, fouled off, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Eugenio Suarez. Come on, Gino. Top of the 4th inning, 4-0 Toronto. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 300 likes, 100 on the Dono train, and 50 to 100 subs. Let's go. Pitch is low and at the knees. Good eye there by Gino as that pitch gets behind the plate and runners advance. There we go. We'll take that. Wild pitch, baby. Randy to second, Naylor to third. Here we go. Have some faith. Come on, Gino. And there's a walk, baby. A little meltdown. See? It's not just Logan. But now we have to capitalize when the meltdown is happening. We can't have double plays and fumble the bag and have self-inflicted wounds where we do something dumb. We have to make sure we're getting some runs. We have to get production. And now we got bases loaded. Next up is J.P. Crawford with one swing. He could tie the game up. Come on, J.P. "17 homers in 10 games, 27 for 44 there. Come on, JP. First pitch takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away with a splitter, no balls and 2 strikes to JP Crawford. Well, the thing is, when you watch every pitch and you watch every inning and you do every game, we ended up doing 157 out of the 162, maybe missed one game a month because of WWE. And then we've done every playoff game on top of that. No one else is doing that. So, and as we go into next year, we're probably not going to miss any games because I'm not paying $30 a month to watch WWE. So, moving forward, we're probably going to be doing every single game. So a lot of commitment. Come on, JP. No balls and 2 strikes from your Savage to JP Crawford. And a slow dribbler and another fucking double play. You got to be kidding me. Oh, it's one thing to get one double play, but to get another one, unreal. These guys are getting incredibly lucky. Back-to-back double plays. You got to be shitting me. I still have faith that we can come back. But again, that has to be the last double play that we give up, and again, that's baseball. That happens, and just unfortunate that it's happening right now in ALCS game number 6 when we desperately need to get on the board with at least one, and we can't even do that, at least at this point. But let's see what we have here. Hopefully they pull Gilbert and they bring in Bizzardo, but we will find out here momentarily. Still plenty of time to come back. It's only the 4th inning. And it's not like we haven't done the same to other teams, as well. So obviously maybe not in such a packed, pressured moment, here in the playoffs, but, we'll see, if we can end up getting the same type of payback on them at some point in the game as well. You're going to have to go through the adversity and, control your emotions, and again, you have to always have that blind faith. Next up in the 9-hole, 0 for 1 with a K, shortstop Andres Jimenez. Batting second, DHing George Springer, and batting third, left fielder in the 2-hole, Nathan Lucas. And it looks like they're going to keep Logan Gilbert out there for at least one more inning. I'm not sure if I would do that, but we will see how this plays out. But if you're a true Mariner fan, right, you've seen us get, a couple, double plays, off bases loaded in a game before. And we've gotten certain games throughout the season where we've even, gotten 3 double plays, in a game. So again, not every double play is going to come with bases loaded, and obviously that hurts the most when you have that. But again, things haven't really gone our way at this point, right? We've hit into a few double plays, with bases loaded, right? Pitching hasn't been good by Logan Gilbert. Defense by Julio and Gino early haven't been good, and again, we just have to be able to fight through the adversity and hope, at some point the game will open up, maybe when your Savage ends up exiting. First pitch from Gilbert to Jimenez, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Gilbert on the mound, Jimenez in the box. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Andres Jimenez. Yeah, the probability of doing it back-to-back is very, very Small number. And on top of that, what are the chances that the Mariners actually get bases loaded and, in 2 innings like that? That's not going to happen either very often. So, there's a little magic in the air in Toronto. Obviously they're looking for a little bit of payback, but again, I still feel very confident that we can end up making a rally. And if it just so happens that we rally and we fall short, we can win in Game 7. But this game isn't over in Game 6 yet, even though it looks bad right now at 4-0. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Andres Jimenez. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Jimenez. I mean, if we freaked out every time we ended up getting down, we wouldn't have any fans at all, period. Everyone would just lose their minds and whatnot. I mean, again, things are, going to be going through peaks and valleys. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it sucks, but you just got to fight through it and know that, they're going to have a couple guys in the pen that are shaky that we can come back on. And Jimenez grounds out to third. Gino is there. Strong throw to Naylor. Toe tap on the bag, and that is 1 away. And remember, all it takes is one pitcher to have a meltdown, and we can score 1 to 5 runs. So, again, we're only in the 4th inning. Next up, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, George Springer. And it's one thing to preach, and then if we never, ever come back, then it doesn't mean anything. But the reality is, when we preach these things, we have come back, from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs down. So, and Springer flies out to center. Julio is there. No fly zone. And that is 2 away. Nice job by J-Rod with the defense there in the no-fly zone. 2 away. Next up, 1 for 2 with a K, left fielder Nathan Lucas. First pitch fouled off right down the middle, 0-1 count. I mean, we can even come back from something crazy. It's not like we've never come back from 6, 7, 8, 9 runs down either. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but again, we got to get a home run, to kind of get on the board or, hopefully get that big RBI. Got to stop it with these fucking double plays. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nathan Lucas. And remember where we're at. We're in the ALCS Game 6. The Dodgers swept the Brewers. The Brewers scored 2 runs total in 4 games. We're not the fucking Brewers, and neither are the Blue Jays, right? We have a 3-2 lead. Remember that, right? We're 1 game away from making the World Series for the first time in the team's existence. Have some faith. 1-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nathan Lucas. Bottom of the 4th inning, 4-0 Toronto. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Gilbert to Lucas. And Logan's delivery definitely looks shaky, and again, it kind of did even at the end of the regular season. But sometimes he'll be able to lock in. 2-2 pitch, and Lucas grounds out to second, and that is out number 3. A much better inning there for Logan Gilbert, which we could have, brought in Bizardo, but we save our bullpen for 1 more inning with Logan Gilbert, and let's see where his pitch count is at. He's at 72. So, I mean, I guess if you can keep him at 4 runs and he doesn't give up any more and goes 1 more inning, then, that would be good. But hopefully we can end up getting on the board with at least a run or 2 here in the top of the 5th. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K, 8-hole hitter, right fielder Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. We need you. Batting second, 1 for 1. Almost got a home run in his first at-bat. Second baseman Leo Rivas. Maybe drop the bunt down. We know you end up having that power in the bat. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a walk, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We need you, baby. there was a time that we needed one of these, it's right fucking now. Let's go, Julio. End of the fourth inning, 4-0 Mariners. But it's not like we've had a couple chances to be at 4-4. You know, if we just could have been able to not have double plays, you know, with bases loaded. I don't know what's crazier, the Mariners getting, you know, bases loaded 2 innings, you know, back to back, or actually having them get double plays back to back. All of it is a little crazy, you know. But again, pitching hasn't been good, defense hasn't been good, hitting hasn't been good, you know. But again, once Savage goes out, you know, again, that's where the game will open up, unless we can end up having a little mini meltdown on him. And we started to do that, you know, in the last couple innings, but we weren't able to get that last big hit to bring those guys home. So, you know, again, it's very hard, you know, to be able to come up in the clutch with all that pressure when you know there's bases loaded and you're down. You know, it's not like any of us could be in the box and do better than these pros. So, you know, you just have to have that faith that we can, you know, come back and chip away. And it's not like we're going to get all 4 runs back necessarily in 1 inning. So, first pitch from Savage to Canzone, high and away, 1-0 count. Yeah, and the Kraken players wore Mariner jerseys, and they ended up winning in overtime 4-3 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, hopefully that'll be a good omen for us here today. So far, early on, it's not. But again, the game's not over. We're halfway through. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. And it feels like the umping has smoothed out a little bit. It's not as, you know, biased as it was for the Blue Jays early on, but we're still only halfway. We'll see how it goes. 1-1 pitch fouled off by Dom. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. 1-2 pitch, high and away with the splitter. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Dom. We need something. If you're playing over Victor Robles, you know, you got to be able to do something. You know, again, both guys haven't really been hitting that well, but at least Victor's defense is better. He's a better base runner, and he can bunt, which is something that I'm not sure if Dom can do. 2-2 pitch, low and at the knees. That could have been strike 3 there from Savage, and they don't get the call. Didn't really frame that very well as for the Blue Jays for Alejandro Kirk. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. And 3-2 pitch. Here we go, Dom. And a nice single up the middle, baby. There we go. There's the Dominic Canzone that we like. There we go. Right past the pitcher, right past the second baseman. Let's go. Let's go. And it's not like, you know, we have, you know, 10 strikeouts, you know, and we're not able to do anything. Like, we've had chances. So the game is going better than maybe some people think. You know, it's not like they're up 4-0 and we have no hits and Savage has got a no-hitter and we haven't had anybody on base all day. Next up is Leo Ribas. First pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. 0-1 count. Come on, Leo. 0-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 4-seam fastball from Trey Savage, 93 miles an hour. Savage on the mound, Ribas in the box. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We got 417 in the room. Let's get to 250 and then 300. Let's go, baby. And we're at 2 on the dono train, 98 to go. Top of the 5th inning, 4-0 Toronto. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. and down goes Rivas, and that is one away. And that's very uncharacteristic for Leo. Hopefully he'll be able to make up for it in his third at-bat. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. And again, if there was ever a time that we needed a Julio home run, it might be right now to get it to 4-2. Come on, J-Rod. Trident's up. Seize the moment. We need you. Come on, J-Rod. Come on, Julio. And Julio on the first pitch. And another double play. Golly. What are we doing? Breaking the record for double plays? This is like literally the luckiest I've ever seen a team against the Mariners, here in the playoffs. Ridiculous. Like, how many double plays are they going to fucking get? It's not like the game is 0-0. I mean, they're already up 4. You kidding me? Lee. That's still not going to get me down. I'm still not going to be upset. It's baseball. It's just unfortunate. And again, at some point, they're not going to get a fucking double play, and we are going to hit a home run. We are going to get some ribbies, and we are going to catch up. Unbelievable, the luck that this team is getting at this moment. Being up 4-0, having the pitching, the defense being suspect, and then when we finally get in a position to be able to score 3 times in a row, that they end up getting double plays 3 times in a row. Give me a fucking break. They might be the luckiest team on planet Earth right now. But that luck is going to fade at some point. Let's see who's up next for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 5th. Next up, 0-for-2, first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Batting second, 0-for-2 with a K, catcher Alejandro Kirk. And batting third, 1-for-2 with a run, center fielder Dalton Varsho. Come on, Mariner Moose. No more double plays. We need help. See how this all plays out. We still got half of the game to go. Savage will be exiting, you would assume. Where is he at? 75 pitches. So maybe one more inning for Savage, and then we can hope for a meltdown or two. And then the baseball gods will be in our favor, hopefully, for the rest of the game. And we'll see if we can climb our way back into the game. And again, if we scrap and claw and scratch and we end up falling slightly short, again, I feel very confident in Game 7 that we can get the job done. But, we still have Game 6 here. Yeah, it doesn't look good. We're down 4. Yeah, we've hit into a bunch of triple plays, or double plays, excuse me. Pitching hasn't been good. Defense hasn't been good. And again, we have 2 errors on top of that. But again, something at some point has to go our way. It's not like we're going to lose 10-0. There's just no way. Something good is going to happen. It's just who's going to be the guy that gets us going. First pitch to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Gilbert is still out there. As long as the score still stays at 4 while he's out there, we'll be just fine. I mean, with all things considered. Takes a strike looking right down the middle with a 4-seam fastball, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, splitter, low and at the knees, off speed, 77 miles an hour by Logan Gilbert. 1 ball and 1 strike to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Bottom of the 5th, 4-0 Toronto here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But it's not like, Savage has got a no-hitter and he's got 10 or 12 Ks and we're just not doing anything, Obviously, the defense and pitching have been a disappointment today, and obviously hitting into double plays fucking 3 innings in a row is insane, But again, you have to assume that luck will run out at some point for them. And I guess not. Back. See ya. And Vladdy homers into left field. Time to pull Logan Gilbert. And now it's 5-0 Blue Jays. Golly. Logan. You know, and again, we've seen our pitchers look great, you know, at times, and we've seen our pitchers look like shit at times, and not ideal, obviously, for what Logan Gilbert was able to do early, you know, in the series when things were kind of going our way offensively. But now everything not going our way, 5-0 Toronto. And this is usually the maximum amount of runs that we can be down by to come back. But again, at this point, pull him. You know, why do we have him in here anymore? Bring in, you know, Bizzardo or somebody, you know. And again, it's not like Bizzardo can't pitch today and tomorrow if needed. And Logan Gilbert gets pulled. 5 is usually the max. You know, once we get down by more than 5, then it's just like, okay, let's see how many we can score to kind of give us, you know, good juju and good vibes going into the next game. And luckily we have a next game to play, but you know, hopefully we'll be able to get a meltdown or two by the Blue Jay pen. So that way we can at least make this game interesting. You know, 5 is tough. You know, there's no doubt about that. You know, but again, you know, if we can get some pitching to go our way and we can stop hitting into some double plays, you know, we should realistically get a few runs before this game is over. Now, it consists of a few, I don't know, 2, 3, and if we get lucky, we might be able to get a few more. But the real question is can we keep them at 5? And at this point, you know, we'll see. And Bizzardo is coming in, and they probably should have started the inning with Bizzardo. All right, let's go Bizzardo. Next up is Alejandro Kirk. On deck, center fielder Dalton Varsho. Batting third baseman Ernie Clement. Well, at home, you know, he was 0-7 in the first 2 games, and then he went off in Seattle. So again, it's like you have to, you know, you're not going to just intentionally walk a guy the whole series and whatnot. But again, it shows you how good Vladdy is. You know, he's going to be, you know, on point more times than not. I mean, he's one of the best players at first base that's in this league. And, you know, unfortunate that he hit the homer. But think about this. What if they would have had a guy or 2 on base? We could be down fucking 8-0 or 9-0, and then for sure it's over. So we have to be kind of lucky that it was only a solo dinger, you know, because a lot of times when Vladdy homers, he's got a couple guys on. So, you know, could realistically be 8-0 and then it would be done. It would be over. We'd have to just go this game, you know, wave the white flag. But, you know, 5 is usually the number where we can come back from still, even though it looks bad. But when are we going to get that first? And first, we need to get out of this fucking inning without giving up any more. First pitch from Bizzardo to Alejandro Kirk. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. You know, this isn't the Brewers and Dodgers where the Brewers scored 2 runs in 4 games and get swept. You know, it's looking like it's going to be a game 7 unless we have a miracle here in game 6. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Alejandro Kirk. It's not over till it's over. 0-2 pitch, and Kirk lines out to right. That's a hard hit ball, and good defense there by Dom. And Dom makes me nervous sometimes. You know, in right field, he's not as good as Victor, but he's still capable, you know, of making some plays for hard hit balls, like he just showed right there. Next up is center fielder Dalton Varsho, 1 for 2 with a run. First pitch, big swing and a miss from Edward Bizzardo. Slider off speed, 83 miles an hour. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Should have been called strike, but we don't get the call. Slider in the zone, in the corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Should be no balls and 2 strikes. Come on, ump. We're already down 5-0. They don't need any more favoritism now. I mean, they already got back-to-back double plays We've made errors. Pitching hasn't been good. The last thing that we need is the ump to be against us on top of all that. Like, let's give us a chance to come back. 1-1 pitch, hit deep. And Varsho all the way back towards the wall. Julio is there, and that is 2 away. Nice job by Julio Rodriguez in the no-fly zone, baby. Next up is Ernie Clement. Let's go. Just got to get that first run. First pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside with a sinker from Bizzardo. 0-1 count. A 2-run jack and a 3-run bomb. And again, it's not like we haven't had guys on base. You know, things could be much worse offensively. We didn't anticipate defense and pitching to be this bad in Game 6. And a little blooper there in front of Dominic Canzone. Run, Dom! And that's a stand-up double for Ernie Clement. Nice double there by Ernie. And next up is Addison Barger. And really where the Blue Jays are, excelling is at the bottom of the order. You know, the 7, 8, 9 hitters are doing much better than our 7, 8, 9 hitters. And again, you know, if you can get big home runs and big plays out of your 7, 8, and 9, it really does carry over to the 1, 2, and 3, and the guys in the middle in the 4, 5, and 6. First pitch. And Barger flies out to center, and that will be out number 3. Good job by Edward Bizzardo. Go to the top of the 6th and let's get on the board. It's time for those double plays to end and time for us to be able to hit a home run or get an RBI and get at least 1 or 2 on the board, you know, before we get towards the end of the matchup in the 8th or the 9th inning. Gained 6 subs since the last commercial break. We're only at 2 on the Dono train. Maybe that's why we're losing 5-0. 98 to go. And we've gained a good chunk of subs. We're still trying to gain about 50 to 100 before the stream ends. And let's see if we can get on the board here in the top of the 6th inning. Let's go, Mariner Moose. I still believe. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a K. It's the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And if Cal can hit a home run and get us on the board at 5-1, you just need that first run to get across the board on the scoreboard. Let's go, Cal. Let's go, big dumper. Batting second, 0 for 2, DHing Jorge Polanco. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a K, Josh Naylor. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Cal. And you Savage is at what, 75 pitches? Yeah, we got one. We're at 2, 98 to go. First pitch from you, Savage to Big Dumper. Takes a strike, swinging low and away. 0-1 count. I mean, if you're talking about the chips being stacked against you, I mean, this is the game, right? Logan Gilbert, not good, right? Defense by Julio and Gino on a couple plays, not good. 2 errors, and then on top of that, hitting into 3 double plays in a row. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, that shit just doesn't fucking happen, especially this late, but again, it happened today, but we have to be able to put it in the rear view mirror. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking. Low and in the zone. No balls and 2 strikes to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Oh-2 pitch, high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. But again, once we get it to 5-1 or 5-2, then things are going to start rolling. It's just the longer that we stay at 0, the more, depressing it's going to get for certain people. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Come on, Cal. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss by Cal. Savage is just, on point today. And sometimes that's what happens. We've seen it from our pitchers as well. Brian Wu, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, Bryce Miller. We've all seen them pitch like Savage is pitching today. He's doing a great job. Next up, 0 for 2, Jorge Polanco. And we need you to turn back into Mr. October. Come on, Polo. It's time. It's time, Polo. Time to get the game to 5-1. Let's go. First pitch, low and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Jorge Polanco. Just need to get some kind of positive rally going. Couple walks, a guy getting hit, someone stealing a bag, somebody getting a home run, someone going back to back to back with hits, just not into a fucking double play again. I mean, it's one thing to hit in a double play here, double play there, but to do it 3 innings in a row is fucking insane. Even during the regular season, we didn't see that. To show you, what kind of game we're watching here today. 2-0 pitch. And Polo grounds out to first, and that is 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with a K, a single up the middle on his last at-bat. We may need him to do this. Josh Naylor. Come on, Josh, bring the electricity. Make it interesting here in these last 3 innings. Top of the 6th inning, 5-0 Toronto. Savage on the mound. Naylor in the box. And crushes it deep. And there it is. Josh Naylor. I show you the home run photo. And there it is. Have some faith, baby. And again, you show the home run photo, you get the home run. Let's go. 5-1 Blue Jays. Here's our rally, baby. Trident's up. Seize the moment. Someone's going to come up big. Let's fucking go. Nice job, Nails. Nice job, Big Grumper. Let's go. If we can actually have some solid pitching the rest of the way, we're going to have a chance. Next up is Randy Arosarena. Pitch is low and away. 1-0 count. Great job by Josh. Telling you, my ESP, I'm not going to be 100% right all the time, but I have a good feeling a lot of times on how the game is approached since I'm watching every pitch, body language, the location of the pitches, the vibe. 1-1 pitch, Randy. And Randy with a single right there in the gap. Here we go. Here we go, baby. Naylor with a home run. And it's not like we show home run photos every single at-bat. Then Randy says, let me get in on the party, baby. Right in the gap. Let's go. And next up is Eugenio Suarez. Eugenio Suarez. Let's go, Gino. And sometimes Gino will have magic in back-to-back games. If we can get Gino to homer right here and make it 5-3, we're right back in it, all right? No matter how bad things look, things can turn around really quickly. You just have to have faith. And it looks like Savage is done. All right, they're going to pull him, and this might be good for us. You get a brand new pitcher, pitch right down the middle to Gino. Goodbye. 5-3 Blue Jays. Let's go. And a great job by Savage, considering how bad Logan Gilbert did. 5.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 7 Ks, 87 pitches, 56 strikes. And again, sometimes, we'll have issues, with Dan Wilson, right? Did he pull a guy too soon? Did he let a guy go too long? And, being a manager, that's when you get paid the big bucks, is to make certain decisions. And sometimes it's the right decision on pulling a guy. And sometimes, keeping a guy in too long can come back to bite you as well. So I think that if we can have a similar type of meltdown that we've seen in this series, getting Savage out is perfect. And again, we can see where we go from here. And obviously our bullpen is better than theirs. And I like our chances now, especially if Gino can get a good pitch. We got 2 outs. We're a great team in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, right? We're a great team with 2 outs. Most teams with 2 outs, they end up failing. And they're, the inning is over. But with the Mariners, we can score 1 to 5 runs with 2 outs. And we've done it many, many times. So again, just because we have 2 outs, it doesn't mean anything. It's almost like we have the approach that we have 1 out or no outs. So if we can get a good pitch here to Gino, and he can have a little bit of that magic still left from the ALCS game number 5, and he can do this right here on the screen, and we get it to 5-3 with only 2 outs, we're going to be really in great position to be able to come back and win this game and go to the World Series. Even though it looked terrible and we were down 5-0, but again, now it being 5-1, there's a little hope, right? There's a little life. But I can still have that hope when others don't, when we're at 5-0. Sometimes you just got to be able to have that blind faith, and you got to trust me. And again, I'm not going to be right every single time. ESP will, be here and there, but again, I knew we weren't going to get shut out, and eventually good things will happen for us. Let's go. And we got Louis Varland coming in. And first pitch from Varland to Gino, knuckle curve, high and away, 1-0 count. Pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. Come on, Gino. Good vibes only. Let's go. Top of the 6th inning, 5-1 Blue Jays. And it feels good to have that 1, instead of a 0. 1-1 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. 2-1 pitch, low and away. Great eyes by Gino. 3 balls and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. We'll take a walk. We'll take a single, a double, and hell, we'll take a 2-run blast as well. Come on, Eugenio Suarez. Let's go, Gino. Give us that magic, baby. Three-one pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. That would have been the one to probably swing at. 3 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Let's keep the rally going. Come on, Gino. Take the walk if it's there, baby. Varland on the mound. Gino in the box. 5-1 Blue Jays. We got plenty of time to come back. Come on, Gino. And Gino with a line drive. Let's go. Fair. Go, go, go. Go. Run, Randy. Go. Run, run. Go, Randy. Yes. Randy scoring from first, and all the people that turned the fucking game off. This is why you have to believe. You know, when everyone else doesn't believe, I will always believe. And there you go. As bad as the game went, 3 double plays in a row. Logan was ass. Our defense made 2 errors. And just like that, boom, we're right back in it. 5-2 Blue Jays. And this would be an epic meltdown of all meltdowns if we go to the World Series here today. Let's go. Next up is JP Crawford. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. Let's go. And I even know some of you in the chat were starting to get a little nervous, starting to give up, making plans for tomorrow for Game 7. Have faith in your boy. Let's go. 0-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to JP Crawford. Let's go, baby. 1-1 pitch, low and away. Great eyes there by JP. 2 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. 2-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to JP Crawford. And, you know, hell of a job by Randy scoring from fucking first. Are you kidding me? You know, those are the type of effort plays that we want from Randy, you know, especially when we know his ground ball game is not very good. But again, you know, when it was 5-0, yeah, I know it doesn't look good. But again, all it takes is 1 or 2 mini meltdowns. And then now it's looking pretty good. Knuckle curve, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to JP Crawford. Let's see if JP can force a walk. 3-2 pitch, and Crawford strikes out swinging, but not after we end up getting on the board. And not only is it 5-0, no, not 5-1, it's 5-2. And again, that's exactly what we needed, right? We wanted to make sure we get a little bit, chip away, 1 or 2 here, 1 or 2 there. And if we can keep them at 5, we might have a chance, you know, in the 9th inning. Maybe we're down 1 or 2 runs and we might be able to come back at that point. You know, obviously, if we can get it to like, you know, 5-3, 5-4, if we can't obviously ultimately tie it up by the 9th inning. You know, but again, a 3-run homer ties the game up, and we just need the pitching to be good the rest of the way. The bats will come alive. And again, you know, we just had bad luck with 3 double plays hit in a row. We're right back in it. We're not going to lose 5-0. We're not losing 10-0. Okay? Have the faith. Let's go. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-2 Blue Jays. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 300 likes, 100 on the dono train, and 50 to 100 subs. Let's go. Next up, 1 for 2 with an RBI, second baseman Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a K, shortstop Andres Jimenez. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a base on ball, DHing George Springer. Kind of funny, you know, how things can go, you know, where it can go bad, you know, for 3, 4, 5, 6 innings. And all of a sudden, in a matter of 5 minutes, you know, you're right back in it. So, again, that's why people can't be so negative, you know, and, you know, giving up and not having faith just because, you know, bad things happen. You know, bad things happen to all of us. It's how you react to it, you know. And again, nice way to battle back there. Josh Naylor getting it going. And then, you know, Randy scoring, you know, from first base was huge. Combo's got the right idea. $5 holla. We're way behind the 8 ball here on the dono train, but I have faith that we'll still be able to make up for it before this game is over. Appreciate you. Stacks, Rex, with a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We're at 7:93 to go to hit the dono train, and we're in the 6th inning now. That's a little wild, and I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Combo. Let's go, baby. Jessica in the building. What's good? Bottom of the 6th, 5-2 Toronto. And it kind of makes you think, if we didn't hit into 3 double plays in a row, the score probably would be tied right now, or maybe we were at 4, if we only hit into like 1 double play instead of 3 in a row, especially with bases loaded on back-to-back ones. It could be 5-5 right now or 5-4. Popped up, and JP Crawford is there. Great defense always by JP, and that is 1 away. Nice job by Eduard Bizardo. Down goes Kiner Falefa, who has been kind of a thorn in our side since he's come in for Anthony Santander's back problem. Next up is Andres Jimenez. Takes a strike looking low and away with a slider off speed. 0-1 count. Bizardo on the mound. Jimenez in the box. Music with a tenor. Appreciate you. And shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you so much for your love and generosity. Go M's. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Andres Jimenez, but the vibe is completely different now. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And that is strike 3. Here we go. And again, all you need is a mini meltdown and things get better, but again, when you have 5 bad innings in a row, some people give up. And again, it's like life. Not everything is going to go your way, but again, it's how you react to it. And if you have that faith, things will get better. And they have. Next up, George Springer, 0 for 2 with a base on ball. And again, George obviously has been an enemy of ours on the Astros and now on the Blue Jays, but I don't want to see anyone get hurt. And I hope that he's okay. Obviously, he's not full strength out there. And hopefully we'll be able to get an easy out here on Springer. First pitch fouled off, high and inside, 0-1 count. Let's go. And Springer grounds out to third. Gino is there. Throw to Naylor. And just like that, we're back in it, baby. And again, the overall vibes are different, right? When you're sitting at 5-0, everything's going against us. Pitching terrible. Logan Gilbert. Defense terrible. Julio with a bobble. Gino with a couple misses. Then all of a sudden they get 3 fucking double plays in a row and back-to-back. Bases loaded, double plays. You kidding me? But again, at some point, something good is going to happen, and Josh Naylor was the guy to get us on the board and get things going. And again, sometimes you just need that first guy. And, it sucks that we had to wait to the 6th inning for us to break through. But now the game is definitely reachable for us at this moment going forward. Top of the 7th inning incoming. Shout out to Josh Naylor, homer to right, 389 feet to get us to 5-1. And then Gino reached on an infield single to first. Randy scored from first. And you have to realize, how much hustle you have to have. And we always complain about him being lazy. But in that particular play, he gave it his all. I really appreciate that. It's like he gave it his all, robbing that home run, obviously, in Game 5 as well. Sometimes Randy, is lazy on ground balls. And his throws into the infield are lobs, not lasers. But lately, he has been stepping up, so we want to make sure we're giving him that credit as well. 5-2 Blue Jays. Your Savage is done. So if it's the bullpen the rest of the way, I like our chances. Let's go. Next up, 1 for 2 with a K, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. Already got a hit. Could this be the at-bat where he goes yard? I sure as hell hope so. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a K, Leo Rivas. Drop a bunt? And batting third, 0 for 2 with a base on ball. We need something big, like a Julio 3-run jack to tie the game up, 5-5. Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Trident's up, baby. Let's go. The formula is there. Let's get it. Let's go, baby. Gained 4 more subs since the last commercial break. 53 to go to 23,200. And shout out to Panthers fan. Cambo, 89, and then Music with a 10er. Appreciate you guys getting us on the board and getting us going, just like the Mariners as well. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Dom. 1 for 2 with a K. First pitch, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. And again, if it comes down to it where we don't really swing and we force some walks, that could be really key as well. Getting a couple guys on with a meltdown here from Varland. And if he walks a couple guys or hits a couple guys and we steal a couple bags, then we only really need like one hit and then it's 5-5. So again, just got to plug and chip away. Pitch is low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Dominic Canzone. Here we go. We'll take a walk if we can get it. Two-0 pitch, and Dom flies out to the shortstop. Wish he would have worked the count a little bit more. 1 away. Down goes Dom. Next up is Leo Rivas, a guy that has power to get you a single, a double, a ground rule double, and even a home run. Almost hit a home run earlier. Let's see if Leo has a little bit of magic left here today. First pitch, high and away from Louis Varland to Rivas, 1-0 count. Varland on the mound, Leo in the box. $83 to go to hit on that Dono goal. Where are we at on the likes all day? Have we hit 300 yet? We got almost 600 in the room. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike, looking low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Leo Rivas. 1-1 pitch, low and away with the knuckle curve by Varland missing. 2 balls and 1 strike to Leo Rivas. 253, 47 to go. We got 543 in the room. And again, I can't do it by myself. Let's go. 2-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Leo Rivas. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help us get to 500 likes, 100 on the Dono train, and 50 to 100 subs. Let's go. Plenty of people in the room. Takes 1 second to hit that like button. And that'll help us get more people here in the stream. More likes, more subs, more views, and potentially more people that we can add to the NWSF family. And it doesn't have to be just a mod or one of the regulars to help out with it. 2-2 pitch, and Rivas strikes out looking, and that is 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a base on ball, Julio Rodriguez. Let's see if Julio can hit a solo dinger here. Let's go, J-Rod. First pitch, knuckle curve, low and away, 1-0 count. Top of the 7th inning, 5-2 Toronto. 1-0 pitch, and Julio flies out to left, and that is out number 3. More of a reason for them to like the stream if they're watching. It's not like we're up 5-2, we're down 5-2. I mean, if you can't give a like when your team is up, when are you going to give a like when your team is down? Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-2 Toronto. Supporters and haters can still like the stream. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th and see who's up next here for the Blue Jays. Next up for the Blue Jays, 1 for 3 with a K, left fielder Nathan Lucas. Batting second, 1 for 3 with a run, RBI. First baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And batting third, 0 for 3 with a K, catcher Alejandro Kirk. And if we intentionally walk Vladdy, that won't hurt my feelings one bit. We got Brash coming in. And hopefully it is the good Brash, not the bad. All right, Matt Brash on the mound coming in for Eduard Bazardo. Nathan Lucas in the box, 1 for 3 with a K on deck. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Batting third this inning, catcher Alejandro Kirk. All right, all day says we're at 272, 28 more to get to 300. If you're in the room and haven't hit that like button yet, please do. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. You know, again, I'm always going to support my friends, you know, especially if they're talented and have dreams and goals. So if some people can't handle it, you know, there's plenty of other places to watch. But again, I'm going to definitely support my friends through and through. You know, again, if it was easy to make your dreams come true, everyone would do it. And again, I'm proud to be his friend and I will always support him. Extremely talented individual. Bottom of the 7th, 5-2 Toronto. First pitch from Brash to Lucas. High and away, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch in play and grounds out to second, throw to first, and that is 1 away. Nice job by Leo to Naylor, 1 away. Next up is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. First pitch takes a strike looking high and inside, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-2 Toronto. Brash on the mound, Vladdy in the box. Can't have Vladdy hit another home run. We got to keep it within 3. And again, we'll see how this at-bat goes. Hopefully we'll get an easy out. And Vladdy gets hit. Next up is Alejandro Kirk. And gets him right on the elbow. And obviously we know Randy typically gets hit on that spot as well. So first pitch, high and inside, 0-1 count. Blue Jay, I'm in the same boat, bro. Same age, and I'm in the same boat as you. You know, I got like 1 or 2. You know, again, obviously I have a lot of people that are acquaintances and people that I know, and obviously, you know, I think people on the channel. But as far as people that I see once in a while, you know, sometimes you don't need a whole lot of people. You know, your peace of mind is definitely worth, you know, more than, you know, try to make everybody else happy, especially when you get a little bit older. First pitch. Takes a strike looking, and then a hit right up the middle there by Alejandro Kirk. And now we got runners at first and second here. Guerrero to second, Alejandro Kirk to first. Come on, Brash. You know, and again, I used to be a guy that partied a lot and, you know, interacted with a bunch of people, but, you know, me spending time with my pup, you know, means a hell of a lot more than, you know, most people. And then I got one really good best friend and maybe another person that I see once in a while. And that's good enough for me. It's better to have 2 really, really good friends than a bunch of fake ones that will never be for you, be there for you when you need them. So now we're in the bottom of the 7th. Cal with a mound visit. Brash has been good at times and shaky at times. Judah in the building, what's good. And again, we got Dalton Varsho in the box, 1 for 3 with a run. 5-2 Blue Jays. We've definitely rallied back, but again, we need to keep them at 5 if we have any chance of trying to go to extra innings in this game or trying to come back and win in regulation. Can't let them get to 6 or 7. We have to keep it at 5. And if we're able to do that, we might be able to have a miracle comeback and, win 6-5 in 9 or possibly in 10, 11, or 12. But again, we'll see if Brash can be good here for us. Yeah, and it would be great if we can end up getting a fucking double play in our favor too, right? I mean, we had 3 of them, go for the Blue Jays. Can we get 1 to go for us? First pitch to Varsho, takes a strike looking high and inside, 0-1 count. Varsho in the box, Brash on the mound. Come on, baby. Come on, Brash. Oh, 1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dalton Varsho. Fuck. And Vladdy's going to score off the wild throw. What was that? Why did we bring Brash in? Jesus Christ. Throwing error by Cal. And again, 3 errors in a game and almost every single player on the team fucking up at one point or another. And again, we're going to fight. We're going to scratch. We're going to claw. But again, can't have a throw like that. And, we don't usually see Cal do that. That's unexcusable. Terrible. And down goes Varsho on strikes with a big swing and a miss with 2 away. Like, where was our double play? Come on, baseball gods. Can we get a little bit going in our favor at some point? It has to be all Toronto all day here in ALCS Game 6. Can't we get a little bit of life? Next up is Ernie Clement. First pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. And when you got a guy like Brash, who normally is a good player, you don't expect him to have a fucking meltdown. 1-0 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes from Brash to Clement. Yeah, I would have rather had Bizzardo go 2 or 3 innings than even see Brash for an inning. I don't trust him, And I know some people like him and whatnot, but he was good at the beginning of the year. But after the All-Star break, not so much. Very streaky. And, that's the manager has a tough, decision to make, on how long guys go. But Brash fucking up again. Like, how many times does a guy have to fuck up before you just don't play him? I mean, if we would have brought in Carlos Vargas, the same shit would have happened. But, if you got someone that's good, like Bizzardo, let him keep going. Let him go 1, 2, even 3 innings. I mean, this is to go to the World Series. And obviously we have Game 7 and they want to think about that. But, you want to make sure you keep the game in reach. You don't want the game to get out of hand after we actually, scratched our way back. But I don't trust Brash. I don't trust Spire. I don't trust Vargas. I don't trust Caleb Ferguson. The only guy I fucking trust in the pen is Bizzardo, and then our closer Mooney. I don't trust any of those guys. That doesn't mean I don't like them, but there's a difference between liking a guy and trusting a guy in a big moment. And I don't trust those guys. You have to look on what they've been doing recently. He might be a name, but he fucking hasn't really been very good for us lately. Matt Brash. Pitch is low and away, 1-0 count. One 0 pitch, low and away. And a guy, when you got a pitcher that's coming in the pen, and he can't hit the fucking strike zone and he's pitching 1, 2, 3, 4 feet off the plate. I mean, like, how many pitches do you need to see where he can't fucking pitch? And eventually it's going to be a wild pitch and Cal won't be able to get to it. Like, wake up. Come on, Dan. Stop having this fucking blind loyalty to guys that, you know, you think that are better than they are right now. Just because he was good at the beginning of the year doesn't mean he's good now. Like, wake the fuck up. Pitch right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike to Barger. Come on. Yeah, pitching has been terrible today. Pitch is low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike to Barger. Come on now. Addison Barger in the box. Brash on the mound. 3-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 2 outs. You know, and again, I know they want to be able to bring this guy in for this inning and this guy for another inning, but sometimes you just got to go with your best player and have him go 2 or 3 innings. But, you know, Dan is going to be like every other manager. He copies what everyone else does. He's afraid to be original and to kind of, you know, understand who's hot and who's not. And there's another walk. And this is a game that we could have climbed back into, and we started to, right? But if you keep Brash in, I mean, they're going to end up being at fucking 10, you know, and if they end up scoring, you know, 8, 9, 10 runs, you know, there's no chance for us coming back. I mean, right now it's on the cusp. We're already down by 4. Why the hell are you still in? Idiot Dan Wilson. Miles Straw pinch running. I mean, just like when we started to have a little bit of faith that we could come back down by 3 runs, should have kept Bizzardo in the game for 2 or 3 innings. Like, understand your personnel. And obviously that's a big part of being a manager. You understand who you have and how good they are at the moment, not how good they were 3 fucking months ago, idiot. Bottom of the 7th, 6-2 Toronto. First pitch to Kiner Falefa, and every pitch is like 3 feet away from the plate. Like, how many pitches do you need to fucking see that he can't hit the strike zone? I mean, are you just waiting for them to hit a grand slam? What the hell is going on here? 1-0 pitch, and finally, Kiner Falefa flies out to right, and luckily we're not down 10-2 after that dumbass experience for Dan Wilson, thinking that Matt Brash is a good fucking bullpen pitcher. He's not. At least not lately. 6-2 Toronto. I don't want to see Matt Brash for the rest of this series, period. I don't even want to see him for a fucking 1 out. Let's go to the top of the 8th inning. We're down by 4, so we got to try to score 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th, and then we have to pray whoever we bring in doesn't play like Matt Brash. So that's a big F. Let's see if we can get some production here. Next up, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Catcher, big dumper, Cal Raw. Let's go, Cal. We need some late inning heroics. Batting second, 0 for 3. Polo, we need you to wake up. If you want to be Mr. October, you know, you've been quiet for the last few games. Wake up. Jorge Polanco, trident's up. We need you to go yard. And batting third, 2 for 3 with a run, RBI, and a K. He's doing his part. It's Nails, the big grumper, Josh Naylor. Come on, let's go. Need a few more subs, 51 subs to go to 23,200. We hit 23,000 just a couple days ago. We're on the cusp of 23,200. We had 5.1 million views on the channel a couple days ago. Next goal will be 10 million. And let's see if we can get a little bit of magic here for the Mariners in the 8th and the 9th. Let's go, baby. Late inning heroics. Let's go, Mariner Moose. We need you. Big dumper. Jorge Polanco. Josh Naylor. Let's go. And they're bringing in Hoffman. All right, Jeff Hoffman coming in. First pitch, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. And we need a meltdown by Jeff Hoffman in the most dramatic fashion. Top of the 8th inning, 6-2 Blue Jays. Hoffman on the mound, big dumper in the box. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike to big dumper Cal Raleigh. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. Splitter, off speed, 88 miles an hour there by Jeff Hoffman. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no out. 6-2 Blue Jay lead. We need to score 2 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th. I was really hoping the Mariners were going to win today, so that way we could do Buccaneers and Lions for Monday night, but I guess that's going to be on hold unless we have the biggest comeback in baseball history here late. 1-2 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Keep chipping away, baby. Let's go. Just got to try to get 1 or 2 runs in the 8th and then 1 or 2 in the 9th, and then we'll go from there. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes big dumper, and that is 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3. Wake up, Mr. October. Second baseman Jorge Polanco. You know, you did great, obviously, in the Tiger series, but you've been pretty quiet, you know, here against the Blue Jays. We need you to wake up and be great. Come on, Polo. First pitch from Hoffman to Polo, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes to Jorge Polanco. Draw the walk, Polo, if it's there. Don't swing wildly. That pitch was very inside by Hoffman. Almost hit Polo. Had to kind of dive out of the way momentarily. Top of the 8th, 6-2 Toronto. Jeff Hoffman on the mound, Polo in the box. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. 6-2 Blue Jay lead. ALCS Game 6. Mariners up 3-2 in the series. 2-1 pitch. Fouls one off low and away. Hoffman on the mound. Polo in the box. Come on, Jorge. Come on, Polo. We need a little bit of magic. Two-two pitch, fouled off low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Hoffman to Polo. Come on, Jorge. All right, we finally got to 300. Let's see if we can get to 350 to 400. Top of the 8th inning, 6-2 Toronto. 2-2 pitch, fouled off low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jorge Polanco. Come on, baby. We need a rally. Doubleheader tomorrow. Buccaneers, Lions on the NFL side, and the Seahawks and the Texans. But we will more than likely not do those because we have a Game 7 potentially, unless we can come up with the most epic comeback ever. Pitch fouled off by Polo. So if we can get 1 or 2 runs here in the 8th and we can hold them to 6, there'll be a small percentage, that we could possibly get 1 or 2 there in the 9th, but it's not looking too good at the moment. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Polo, and that is 2 away. Great job by the Blue Jays here in Game 6. Everything really going their way. Backs against the wall. Next up, 2 for 3 with a run, RBI and a K, Josh Naylor. Let's go, Nails. First pitch, fouled off right down the middle, 0-1 count. Bucks Lions could go either way, even with the injuries to a lot of the Buck players. And then obviously you would assume the Seahawks will beat the Texans. You would assume, but we will find out. Top of the 8th inning, 6-2 Toronto. Hoffman on the mound, Naylor in the box. 0-1 pitch in play, and Naylor flies out to left, and that is out number 3. So now we need 4 runs in the 9th, and realistically, the chance of coming back now is like 1%. It's definitely at the very, very bottom. It might be hard even just to get 1 run, let alone 1 hit at this moment. So again, obviously we have to finish the game. It's not over yet, but again, we definitely needed to get at least 1 or 2 runs that inning to give us a little bit more life. Now, have we ever seen a meltdown, of a closer coming in and giving up 4 or 5 runs? Yeah, we have seen it before, but what are the chances of that happening now? Not very likely, realistically. So we'll see how this goes, and hopefully they don't score any more runs, but obviously you can't win a Game 6 with only 2 runs. But again, starting pitching wasn't good by Logan Gilbert. Defense was terrible. Normally it's electric and it's on point. We hit into 3 double plays in a row, 2 of them with bases loaded, and that's something that normally never happens. And we didn't really have enough guys step up in the lineup here today. But you also have to give credit to the Blue Jays. They did a great job. Hitting was good for them. They took advantage of our, suspect pitching. And then obviously they came up in the big moments when they needed to the most. And Savage was a beast. That's just, how it comes down to. Sometimes, with a team with a back against the wall, after losing in a dramatic way in Seattle in Game 5, with Eugenio Suarez with a solo dinger early in the 2nd, and then obviously that big grand salame, late in the matchup to give us the victory, as well as Cal Raleigh tying the game up 2-2 late. That was great. But again, a great series, just like it was with the Tigers, right? It went Game 5. It went 15 innings. So it's like, what are we in store for tomorrow? We'll find out. And obviously I'll keep an eye on the Bucks and the Lions and the Seahawks and the Texans. But, we're looking like we're going to be doing Game 7 tomorrow. And I wouldn't want it any other way. I mean, no one said it was going to be easy. Remember, we've never been to a World Series before ever, in our team's history. So, no one said, oh, you're just going to go in there and sweep them. And, it's not like we're the Dodgers, where you can hold the Brewers to 2 runs in 4 games. They are electric. It's like David and Goliath. And regardless on who wins between the Blue Jays and the Mariners, nobody is going to give either one of those teams a chance. Everyone on the planet is going to be picking Dodgers in 4, Dodgers in 5. So again, if we can advance, I believe we can win more games than Toronto. And I honestly believe if we can steal one of the first 2 games on the road and it goes 2-3-2 and we take care of business at home, who knows? I mean, obviously it's easy to pick the Dodgers to win back-to-back, but if there is a team that has a chance, I think Seattle has a little bit better of a chance, matchup-wise compared to Toronto. but we'll see how it all plays out here today and then possibly tomorrow. First pitch, takes a strike swinging. No. High and away. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike to Andres Jimenez. I hear my pup outside. I'm going to let her in. And Springer up next as Jimenez pops up with Carlos Vargas in the box, or on the mound, 1 away. First pitch to George Springer, high and inside, 1-0 count. Vargas wild as hell. Almost hits George Springer there. Bottom of the 8th, 6-2 Toronto. One 0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Vargas to Springer. And it's not like, Vargas is intentionally trying to hurt someone or hit someone. He's just wild. He's done that, his whole career. He just has a tendency of pitching high and inside, and, sometimes those get away from him. 1-1 pitch, fouls it off right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to George Springer. Let's go, TJ. My pup is in here. She's curious. And down goes Springer, and that is 2 away. Next up is Nathan Lucas. And a big swing and a miss there from George Springer, obviously who's hurt. And let's see if Carlos Vargas can get out number 3 here on Nathan Lucas. First pitch to Nathan Lucas, big swing and a miss, low and away, 0-1 count. I hear you, honey. Daddy's almost done. Bottom of the 8th inning, 6-2 Toronto. Vargas on the mound, Nathan Lucas in the box. 0-1 pitch. And Lucas with an infield single towards the shortstop there, JP, and he is safe. Great job by JP with, kind of his body in an awkward spot, but throw not in time. Next up is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We might have to intentionally walk Vladdy the rest of the, Game 7 series. I don't know if we really want him swinging at all. First pitch from Vargas to Vladdy, fouls it off high and inside, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch in play, and Vladdy with a single. Carlos Vargas is as reliable as Matt Brash, which is 0. Next up is catcher Alejandro Kirk. And hopefully in the offseason, we end up, spending money on guys in the pen. That's the number 1 priority, not getting positional players. We need to get guys in the pen that are reliable. Starting pitchers that move to the pen, or guys that are in the pen on other teams that are available. Spend the money. You're going to win and lose more games out of your bullpen than any other spot on the team. Bottom of the 8th, 6-2 Toronto. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Vargas on the mound, Alejandro Kirk in the box. Pitch foul back behind the plate by Alejandro Kirk. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch in play, and Kirk flies out to right field, and Dominic Canzone is there. All right, now we need like the biggest miracle of miracles. Now, realistically, the way the game has gone, are we even going to get a run? I hope so, but it's going to be hard, based on how things have gone in this game. We might not even get a hit, but again, we can hope that we can get something, and get a rally going. But, based on how the game has gone, it could be very, very possible that we lose 6-2, but again, we're going to be better tomorrow. And I'm just kind of disappointed that we're not going to be able to do the Buccaneers and the Lions on Monday night. I was really hoping that we would find a way to advance to the World Series so that way we could do the Bucs and the Lions, because I think that's one of the best matchups of the year. Two of the top three teams, in the NFC. I'll still be keeping an eye on it. And then we obviously have the Seahawks and the Texans as a part of the doubleheader. And we'll keep tabs, on the games. But obviously, we're going to be doing Game 7 on the channel tomorrow, unless we end up having the biggest miracle of miracles where we score 4 in this inning and we tie it up and go into extras and win and go to the World Series, or we score 5 and we win it here in regulation in the biggest meltdown in Toronto Blue Jay history. But the chance of that happening is like less than 1% if we're really being real and honest. So, we definitely did not pitch well. We did not defend well. We had 3 fucking errors. That never happens. Hitting, obviously at times was okay. But when you get 3 double plays in a row, 2 of them with bases loaded, I mean, what do you do? Everything went against us, even the umping early in the matchup. So, you got to give credit where credit is due. You savage was a savage. And again, we just didn't do enough to win the game up to this point. And again, we will regroup. Obviously look ahead to tomorrow unless we can do it here. And, I do still believe that we can end up making it and representing the American League tomorrow, if not here tonight, and go to the World Series against the Dodgers. So. And again, the Mariners, it's the Soto mojo, right? Things are never easy for us. It's never going to be like the Dodgers where, they can just sweep the Brewers and the Brewers score 2 runs in 4 games and, they just make them look like nothing. I'm not sure if we'll ever be that team, but that's okay. If we have to, scratch and claw and fight our way just to be able to get, hits and runs, so be it. And, again, we might have lost, the battle, but we're not losing the war. We got a very, very good chance to be able to get it done. Next up, 2 for 3 with a run and a K, Randy Arozarena. And they got Jeff Hoffman still on the mound. First pitch, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. One pitch, takes a strike swinging, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Jeff Hoffman to Randy Arozarena. And hopefully we don't see Matt Brash at all tomorrow. I don't want to see anything to do with him. Period. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. 1-2 pitch. And big swing and a miss. And that is 1 away. Next up is Eugenio Suarez. 1 for 2 with an RBI, base on ball and a K. And hopefully we get that magic from him in Game 7 like we did in Game 5. And maybe it was kind of foreshadowing, on how the game was going to go when we started having errors early on and Logan was shaky. Sometimes when you don't make those big plays early, it kind of foreshadows on maybe how the game is going to go. And, when you stop, playing great defense, things get really rough. And you got to give Toronto a lot of credit. They played great today. First pitch, big swing and a miss by Gino, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away with a slider. 88 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. 1-1 pitch, low and away. Splitter, 88 miles an hour off speed from Hoffman. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out. 6-2 Blue Jay lead. And it potentially looks like it's looking like a Game 7 tomorrow. And I'm definitely looking forward to us getting a little bit of payback for what happened here today in Game 6. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Eugenio Suarez. I agree, Blue Jay. I think it will be epic either way. Hopefully for me, Mariners. Hopefully for you, Blue Jays. But yeah, I will agree. I think it will be epic. I mean, that's what you look forward to. And pitch fouled off himself as it rolled towards that third base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. 6-2 Toronto lead here in the top of the ninth. 2-2 pitch, low and away. Splitter missing, 88 miles an hour by Jeff Hoffman. Count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes to Eugenio Suarez. You know, that's why it's so important, you know, that 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits is so big. Big swing and a miss. And down goes Gino. And that is 2 away. Up to our last potential at bat, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, J.P. Crawford. First pitch from Hoffman to Crawford, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. .1-0 pitch, high and away from Jeff Hoffman to J.P. Crawford. 2 balls and no strikes with nobody on and 2 out. 6-2 Toronto lead. Yeah, Hoffman won't be available tomorrow. I mean, that would be, you know, I guess I get say for sure, but I mean, based on his pitch count, it's very likely we won't see him. So one less guy to worry about, but hopefully we'll have a big enough lead where that won't even matter. I did see an interesting stat for teams that end up sweeping and they have, 6-7 days off. The last time that happened, both teams lost the World Series when they had 6-7 days off. So not saying the Dodgers are going to lose, but something to look at. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. 2-1 pitch, high and away, missing the strike zone badly there by Jeff Hoffman. 3 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. 6-2 Blue Jay lead. And JP forces a walk. JP to first. Next up is Dominic Canzone. We'll be live tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific. I mean, unless we end up getting the most miraculous comeback here. We're going to need the biggest comeback ever and multiple home runs and RBIs here late, down by 4. If Seattle were to do it and tie this game up 6-6, and then it would go into extras, you would think that they would have the momentum, but who knows? In the bottom of the ninth, they would still have an opportunity to win. But obviously with only 1 out to go, it's looking like this one is almost over. First pitch by Dom, and that one is fouled up and out of play. Yeah, we don't deal with any of that spamming. game is in Toronto. And Fielder's indifference and JP Crawford to second. But again, we won the first 2 games in Toronto. So again, this is the first time that we've lost potentially in Toronto. And, I like our chances in game 7. I think that, things will be different tomorrow. 29 more likes to get to 350. Let's go. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Blue Jays are 1 strike away from tying this up 3-3 to force a game 7 tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific for game 7 for the ALCS. One-two pitch in play, and Canzone pops out to third, and that is the game. Shout out to the Blue Jays and their organization. They did a great job, here today. Obviously, when we played the Detroit Tigers, we knew it was going to be a battle, and it turned into a war. And the same thing is going here. It started off as a battle, but it's a war now. And now it's tied up 3 games apiece, and it's going to come down to game 7 tomorrow. I think the only thing that I'm a little disappointed, not just by the loss here today, but we won't be able to do Buccaneers-Lions. I was really hoping to do that call. But again, I will watch that, obviously, at the same time, but I'll focus on the game, obviously, for game 7. And hopefully the Buccaneers will be able to compete with Detroit, even with injuries. And then we also have the Hawks and the Texans later at, I believe, around 7 o'clock Pacific. So both of those games will still be going on while the World Series, the ALCS game 7 will be going on. So we'll do coverage of all 3. And congratulations to Toronto. You guys earned it. You played great. Your Savage was a savage. And I'm looking forward to the challenge and the opportunity to win game 7 to punch our ticket to our very first World Series. And again, we've never done it before. The Dodgers have already clinched, and I want to play them. So we'll see where it goes. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And again, I don't expect a lot of errors and shitty pitching tomorrow. Things will be better, and have some faith. We're going to get the job done in game 7 in the most miraculous way. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Well, Talk Sports Like Us, your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Shout out to All Day and all of the others, TJ, all of you guys, Captain, for helping out with the likes. I appreciate that. And again, we'll look forward to tomorrow, game 7, ALCS, 5 o'clock Pacific. Be here. I will be ready to go. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Go Mariners. Tridents up. Seize the moment, and I'm out. Gang.